guess just overall impressions of where the group's at intensity-wise, and then if there was any of the younger guys that maybe stood out amongst the NHLers for you.
Yeah, you know what? I thought it was a pretty good day. Lots of information thrown at him today. Like in order to get to, I went through the roster, and there's only about 10 guys that haven't been here, at all. We have another, 5 or 6 guys that have been to development camps that have kind of seen some of our systems that have been to rookie camp now. But with some of the returning guys, Magna, Jacob McDonald, Bellemare, Tynan, they're all familiar with it. So we wanted to get into some 5-on-5 stuff right away. So the video review this morning was long. There was a lot of detail into it. And we didn't expect it to be perfect, but I thought the first group probably started out a little rough on their execution side of things. Pace got better, intensity got better as the practice went on. And I thought the second group was outstanding right away from the drop of the puck in practice. So that's a good sign when you have, a little younger group in the second group that really showed up. The D were really solid in that. And yeah, I mean, I like the way some of our guys played, guys that we're keeping an eye on, like Olesen, Foodie, for young guys stepping in, competing against some of our guys, looked good. Brandstrom was my first look at him. DeHaan in the second group. That we had some guys that, had real nice days for us.
Coach, what were your thoughts on Bellemare and how you thought he looked coming in today?
Yeah, I thought he looked good too. Obviously that's a guy that's competing for a job. We've got an opening in that slot. We have a handful of guys that we're looking at for that position, but he looked good again. Kind of know what to expect from Belly, from him being here before, and he kind of jumping back in seamless again, bringing his leadership and consistency on the ice.
How much does that leadership and that familiarity with a player like that help?
Well, it helps. I think it helps the player, be at their best right away. When you're new, say a guy like Parker Kelly today, we're going to try him at center for a little bit here and give him an opportunity. So he played center today. Lots of information again, so it looked like he was thinking a little bit out there. Where Belly didn't, he was just playing on instinct and being able to, show what he's got right away. So, but we want to have some flexibility, and so we're going to try a few different things throughout training camp.
We talked to Mikko today about his future and lack of a contract at this point. How much does that come up with you and him at all, and how much do you have to manage that at all as this goes forward?
No, shouldn't have to. I mean, I've talked to Mikko, and I know Mikko, he's focused on having a good year, he knows the impact that he needs to make on our team, and he had a good summer of training. He's ready to go. I can't say it's not going to be in the back of his mind, but reality of it is that could happen at any point. It could take a while. It's hard to say. So we got to go play, and that's what he needs to focus on, and his agent, and worry about the contract part of it. And I don't get involved in that. So I'm coaching him like I do any of the other guys that we have here.
Is there anything to Shillington not skating with the group today?
Tough immigration day yesterday, and his gear didn't make it. So he went and tried new gear early on, skated with Lehkonen probably before all you guys got here to get on the ice in case it doesn't come tomorrow. And then he did an off-ice workout, and he was in on our in the second group's video session, so he didn't miss anything but some reps on the ice. He'll hit the ice tomorrow, whether his gear shows up or not. Hopefully it gets here. It was still in France when last time I checked, so I'm not positive on that.
Coach, I want to ask you a little bit about Mikko. He's such an interesting player. He can go through stretches where maybe the analytic numbers don't look great. The way that it looks out there is great, but you look at the score sheet at the end of the night, he's a goal, 2 assists.
Yeah.
What, challenges, or do you like having a player like that 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 even if he's maybe not doing exactly what you want, he finds a way to produce? Just kind of your thoughts on the way that Mikko's season went last year.
Yeah, I think we have some non-negotiables with our team, regardless if you're a guy that scores 50 every year and plays 25 minutes, or you play 4 minutes a night and you're a call-up guy. We have certain things that we want to make sure that we're paying attention to. Doesn't change with Mikko, Mac, Kale. to not be fully on in a game and still be able to produce. There's only a handful of guys around the league that can do that, and it's the elite talents like Mikko. So I think that, you know, when you're not having a good night, you're trying to still accomplish something and get on the board, and if that's your job to help produce, then you still try to find ways to produce. So he could be having an off night and still make an elite play and you know, help us win hockey games. And so I understand that you're not going to be at your best for 82 games and have the same intensity or the same legs that you have one night as you do to the next, but you still got to find a way. And, you know, he's been able to do that. You know, that's why his numbers are where they are every year. And, you know, I would say that we're going to try and drive some more consistency out of all of our guys, including our top guys this year.
With Brandstrom, he's still a young guy. I think he's just turned 25. I guess, what did you see from him on tape? And I guess is he kind of a great fit for how you guys like to play?
Well, for sure. Like, you know, his skill set and the way he wants to play, and if he's playing to the strengths of his game, it's another guy for us that can get up and get in the play. He's a good breakout guy, great skater. He has the ability to help you produce off the rush or in the offensive zone, and you see all that on video. Undersized guy, can he defend hard enough, play well enough on the defensive side of things? We've had a lot of undersized guys here before that seem to have been able to adapt and get the job done on the defensive side. I don't see why he couldn't. And so we'll go to work with him on his game and try to free him up to play our style and the way he wants to play and get up and down the ice and have some fun, creating some offense. And so I think he's a fit for our team. You know, same as like a guy like Sam Malinsky. You know, like they have similar skill sets and guys that have been able to produce wherever they've been before, and now they're here, and hopefully they can do it for us.
Don mentioned there hasn't been much discussion of his role just yet, and in looking at that roster battle for the third pair, you usually favor to stay at home defenseman type there. Is he embroiled in the roster battle all the same as these other puck moving types?
Yeah, oh yeah, I think they all are, you know, and that would include our top four, you know, to a certain extent. I mean, we got to put the best group on the ice we can on any given night, and sometimes that changes depending on who we're playing and their personnel and the way they want to play in the matchup. So even though Calvin has a different skill set than, say, a Brandstrom or Malinsky, if you put one guy in, you might be missing something else, and if you put the other guy in, you could be missing something different. So, those decisions probably, for me, they're all capable of playing for us. It's a matter of like who we're playing and what matchups they're going to see on any given night. If they're hitting the ice against big, heavy third and fourth line every shift, and you know, you're going to see a guy like DeHaan. He's a great penalty kill shot blocker. He has strengths that I don't know if some of these other guys have yet. But we'll work with him on all the same stuff and, see who sort of excels.
Ross Colton had talked about, he said, you know, they felt good flying around out there with Miles Wood and Logan O'Connor. And obviously after Logan's surgery, how do you think he looked? And I mean, obviously. But
he's been great. Yeah, I mean, he's been feeling healthy and working hard, and this looked great for quite some time now, months. So it's different now. You're getting a bunch of contact and everything. But he'll play. Like, Logan's ready to go. He's going to play some exhibition games, maybe even some early on in the exhibition schedule. And then, you know, as you know, we like to get down to our group, and at least a group with a couple of the battles down for that Game 5 and Game 6 of exhibition, which he'll play in as well. So want to get him back on the ice. It's been a while. We want him to get some games. But just getting out in practice for a guy like Logan, right, it's just going to help him in working all these 5-on-5 drills that we're doing. It should get us up to speed quickly.
A few more, Corey.
You mentioned the top four. It looked different today. Besides it just being day one of camp, what were you sort of?
It looked different.
Well, yeah, you just didn't have Kale and Devon together.
Well, they're gonna have to learn to play apart. You know, we've got other options there. I think we have guys that can play with Kale. We've got guys that can play with Devon. So might as well start from day one. Get them used to some other partners.
John, go ahead first, and we'll come over here.
Just from a
hockey-loving energy standpoint, did you still have that first day of school feeling today? Like,
Always.
can you
Yeah,
think-
I think always. I think you got to find your rhythm as a coach too. You know, I got in the way today, took a puck in the head, which usually doesn't happen. So it's happening fast. Trying to watch as much as you can from individual players and from the team. But I say this every year, it's an exciting time of year. You know, you're excited for the organization, what the changes that have been made, the new players coming in. You're trying to get to know them as fast as you can. But there's 54 guys here, I think, and some of them just like rolling in recently. So getting to know some of the new guys, like having conversations over the next couple of weeks with some of these guys, making sure that they're understanding all the review and coaching that we're doing, and then we want to see them implemented on the ice. And then you get excited, like, to get your team ready to go for exhibition, and you know it's going to get, like, you know, what you're seeing on the ice should get better and better throughout the exhibition schedule as you start adding more of the top-end players. And it's an exciting time of year, you know. It's everyone's looking forward to the season. It's always a long off season, regardless of where you finish and when it ends. It seems like it's a long layoff, and getting back to see these guys and competing with them again, it's a lot of fun.
Mr. Devin, go ahead. Two more.
No Andre Pavel, is there an update on him?
Yeah, he got hurt in the rookie tournament, so he's out right now.
Yesterday you mentioned, when I asked about the waiver wire for goalies, you said you don't know if that's something you guys would explore. Is it Trent Miner? Is it Kevin Mandolese? Is it both of them? Who are those guys do you kind of feel confident being in the
No
room?
clue. Yeah, I mean, neither one of them have played for us, but I feel good with Gorgian and Noonan, so, you know, that's likely our starting pair, and then we'll see what they do coming out of the gate and how they play. I think we're always, like I said yesterday, regardless of position, perceived depth of whatever position we have, if something comes across that makes sense for our team, I'm sure we'll explore it, goalies included. So, but we feel good about, you know, our two guys, and we're getting a good look at some of the other guys. Like Miner's been with the organization now for a couple of years. Mandolese is new. He's played some games. He's, you know, a big guy. We'll evaluate him as we go through camp, and you know, looks like the Eagles are going to have a really good team based on some of the guys that we saw here so far today. You know, so a lot of the guys here will make their way down there, and should be a really nice squad down there as well. And I think goaltending is included in that.
Thanks, Jared.
Yeah, thanks.
Your day one.
We talked about what a smart player you are, Bednar, and we talked last year about how it was taking some time to get with this and stuff. How much more comfortable do you feel with this, you know, coming into this new season and to see changes that you might have made?
Yeah, I think, obviously just being here last year for whatever it was, 3 months, I think, you know, it kind of helps you hit the ground running this year and, you know, get to know some guys so I'm not walking into the locker room blind. And, so I think, honestly, that side of it more than anything is very important. And, you know, got to know the system and felt pretty comfortable in it by the end of it. So, trying to pick up where we left off and, you know, find that same feeling.
Jared mentioned yesterday that he might want to use you on the penalty kill a little bit. Is that an exciting challenge for you?
Yeah, I didn't know he said that, but news to me. But of course, I'm willing to play anywhere and wherever he wants me, I trust him. So, wherever he wants me to play, I'm happy to do it.
You have leaders that are aiming to be better every single day and to strive to push everybody else to be better. So at my age, you know, there's a lot of questions about, does he still want it? Is he still hungry and everything? But I'm still here, one of the first guys. I still want it. And I always said to my mom, like, you know, the day I stop learning is the day I will stop playing. It has nothing to do with the money. And I'm having a heck of fun. And I'm still here trying to learn from all those big guys. And so chance to take a PTO in a place that I know, that my family know. It's weird because, you know, I don't technically have a contract, but then when you come here, everybody's welcome back, everybody's big hugs. So it's warming. It's warming despite the situation.
How long did those conversations go with Chris McFarland and his staff?
He was, to be honest, he was honest right from the get-go. He told me, I think it was maybe a week or 10 days after the deadline open, after the market opened, he told me like, you will always have a place to come with us. And so it was exciting to hear that a team like Colorado would take a shot, you know. And like I said, I understand I'm 39 years old. I only played 40 games last year. Yes, I broke my leg, but in this world, like it's all about like, okay, how many games did he play? And if he was a 25-year-old that played, 40 games, he would be fine. But when you're 39, they're like, okay, can he still play really? But I'm healthy and I'm willing to show them that I'm hungry, that I can help the team, because that's what I'm here for.
Sounds like you still want to play. Retirement never a consideration after last year?
I mean, it was, to be honest, 2 years ago, after like the year after the final against you motherfuckers. Sorry. It was like I had a surgery the day after that final, and the recovery took way longer because it was like I played too long with a broken knee, and when I came back, it was a lot of talk like, okay, that knee can't fix it, right? You can't fix that, and then I find ways to fix it and make it better. So now it's all about. I'm having fun. Can I be an asset to a team, right? Can I come here and like not just be a spectator? Can I be here and like try to drive the young guys, try to learn from the old guys? Is my wife okay with me keep on playing? Because I also want to be a dad. And are my kids still, healthy mentally with me not being at home all the time, right? So all of those things come together in a positive way that I keep playing.
You mentioned that one of the things is you want to keep learning.
Yeah.
And at your age, it seems like that's a good quest for knowledge. Why is that a part of your DNA?
Because I'm not from this world. Like I should not be here. I'm a French hockey player that had one practice a week until I was 11 years old. That started hockey at 6.5 years old. Financial difficulty as a kid with the family, mom by herself with 5 kids. These things is not writing for guys like me. So because of that, though, it's also my strength. I come every day thinking like, wow, this is amazing, right? This is not where I come from. So on an everyday basis, and in a teams where you have guys that have been in the league for 10 years and the lowest contract they've had is $1 million as a 20-year-old. Let's be honest, it's not a normal thing, right? So it's a normal thing for guys to become like, you know what? Like this is bad and this is bad, and they start complaining, and then you have a guy like me that are coming every day and be like, what are you talking about? This is absolutely unbelievable, right? And so I think this is one of the reasons why I've still been having fun to play, and I still in the room I'm still appreciated by guys because I'm an annoyingly positive person, and I think that's necessary.
Colton, obviously you let you out early, a chance to move up in the lineup a little bit. I know you're not doing math or looking at numbers, but what's sort of the initial mentality coming into camp?
Yeah, I think, for a team, obviously we know that we have the guys in here that can get the job done, and, we all have that same goal that we set every time we step into camp. So, that's a team goal. And then for me personally, I don't like to look too much into that stuff. I think, guys are coming in, guys are fighting for spots. Doesn't matter who you are. I think that's the nice thing about this team is nothing's given, everything's earned. And, that starts with the leadership. That's the kind of the goals that they put into place. So for me, just kind of try to have a good summer, get the body right, and come in ready to go from day one.
Yeah, how was the off season? Did you do anything differently? Do you feel good coming into the year? Was it a productive training in the off season for you?
Yeah, no, it was huge. It was a little longer of a summer than we would have liked. But, sometimes that's never a bad thing. So took some weeks off there, kind of just relax, get the body right, did what I need to do, and then did a good job, just kind of same thing as I usually just work on conditioning, kind of working in all 3 zones and kind of just training with some other pro guys, getting ready for day one.
Yeah, I was going to ask, who'd you skate with this summer? Kind of whereabouts were you?
Yeah, I'm back home in Jersey, so we have a good group of kind of pro guys, some AHL guys, some college guys, and, it's sad. I skated with Johnny Gaudreau all summer, and it's obviously devastating. So obviously his, family and him are in thoughts and prayers every time I'm on the ice, really.
hockey's such a bond and such a brotherhood. I talk about it all the time. Anytime something like that happens, obviously it's hard on the whole community. But are you doing okay? Is there anything you want to say to the family or anything along those lines? I'll give you the opportunity to if you want to. If not, all good.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's obviously tough. I mean, you know, we skated a lot together. I mean, every summer I go home, we play in some charity tournaments. He was always there, and he's probably the biggest name in New Jersey hockey, at the moment. And so to just not have him around, at the rink in the summers, but even around the NHL is obviously going to be devastating. So it's unfortunate, and like I said, he's got a family at home, and everybody loved him, and he was a great person, obviously a great hockey player, but even better person. So he's going to be missed.
Appreciate that in the sentiment, and condolences. You guys have a great group. I know there's a little bit of uncertainty with guys, Lackey obviously coming back, Gabe, Chushkin. Do you feel that this is a group that can get it done no matter who's in the lineup, and that you sort of always improvise, adapt, and overcome the situation in this team?
Yeah, 100%. I think, we have the horses in here. We saw it last year. We were, I hate to, talk about games like that, but, we lose some guys. We're, an overtime goal away from forcing a Game 7, and you never know what could happen. So we battled. I think that's the mindset that we always have is, we're never going to give up. But I think right now the mindset is, those guys are going to come back at some point. So let's kind of jump out to a hot start. We have I think anytime you got guys like Nate and Mikko and Kale on your team, you're going to have a good shot at winning. And it's kind of just, fitting the pieces around them and kind of guys doing their jobs and, filling different roles. So we're all excited. We know we can do it, and just looking forward to, the first game.
Thank you bunch.